My friend, Tommy Zeigler, has been on death row in Florida for over 40 years. He was shot in the stomach, and his wife, her parents, and another man were killed in his own store on Christmas Eve, 1975. There's a ton of information about that case on the internet, and it is not my purpose to review them here. What I want to do is to explain some of the issues that have kept the criminal justice system from giving Tommy Zeigler real justice. Tommy has an appeal before the Florida Supreme Court right now. The state, represented by Pamela Jo Bondi, the Attorney General of Florida, opposes that appeal, which is simply for DNA testing that he has agreed to pay for. Obviously, he has no money, but his lawyers would pay. But Pamela Jo Bondi doesn't want him to have that DNA testing. She just wants to execute him. So in a series of short videos, which I will try to keep to 3 to 4 minutes apiece, I want to explain some of the issues in the criminal justice system as they relate to Tommy Zeigler's case. I start with a short poem, which is modeled on the poem The Night Before Christmas by Clement C. Moore. I call it Merry Christmas, Tommy, from Pamela Jo Bondi. 'Twas the night before Christmas in '75, and 3 of Tommy's loved ones were no longer alive. Tommy didn't know when he entered his store that his wife and her parents were laying dead on the floor. It was as black as midnight, and the lights wouldn't work. Then an evil guy clubbed him. But as he stumbled, he jerked out his gun and fired off 1 shot. Then a pain like a hot poker went through his gut. As Tommy passed out, he heard someone say, "Charlie Mays has been shot. We must put him away." When Tommy came to, he called the police. They arrived in a minute and carried him out. He was raced to the hospital, and then in 4 nights, the police came back and read him his rights. Now, 40 years later, he sits on death row. He pleads for blood testing, but the law just says no. What's wrong with the courts? Tommy thinks he may know. He thinks they're corrupt, and many believe he's right. Attorney General Pam Bondi has ignored Tommy's plight and calls Merry Christmas as she stays out of sight and dreams of higher office that she thinks is her right. The next one will explain an issue in Tommy's appeal that the law has ignored or possibly just chosen to get wrong for all these years.